Welcome back to Just Scribble. Today I'm going to be sharing with you our 2027 lineup, and I am so excited to be sharing this with you guys. So we have just reached the 2-year anniversary of our shop, and we are going into our 3rd year of planners. And I am so proud of how far we've come with our planners and with our shop. And I'm also so humbled at the amazing feedback that we've gotten from everyone in our community and from our customers. And I just want to say thank you so much for supporting my shop. And I really hope that you are as excited for our 2027 lineup as I am to share it with you guys. So before we get into the actual planners included in the lineup, I did want to cover a few kind of administrative things. The first and probably the most important thing to you is that pre-orders will open up on August 15th. So Saturday, August 15th, our pre-orders will open. I will be sharing all of the specific details of the pre-order on all of our socials, so Instagram, here on YouTube, on our Facebook page, and in our Facebook group, and I'll also be sending out a newsletter. So we will be sharing all of the specific details of our pre-order, but the pre-order date starts on August 15th. I also wanted to let you know that for our returning layouts for this video, I'm going to be using our 2026 physical planners because I don't produce samples of our planners. So I will be showing our existing 2026 planners, those planners that are returning, and if there is something that has changed in the 2027 planner, I will point that out as I go through the video. For some of our new planners and or new sizes of planners, I will be sharing printouts from our actual production files so that you can see those clearly. By the time this video has gone up, we will have shared on socials, again on Instagram, YouTube, and also Facebook, all of the planners included in the lineup. And on those social media posts, we shared the layouts for the specific planner. We shared the paper for the planner, the sizes the planner comes in, and also the cover color that the planner is offered in. And I did want to mention that when we do make those posts, when we created the posts for social media, we used our actual production files to make those posts. So we did not use any sort of recreated or simulated version of our planners. And we also did not use a photograph of an existing planner layout because we wanted you to be able to see very clearly the layout of the planner. So those graphics appear a little darker on your screen than the finished printed planner. So the print and the print density that you're going to see in this video from our existing 2026 planners, from these physical planners, is what you're going to see in 2027. We did not lighten or darken any of the print for our 2027 planners. And for 2027, just like 2026 and 2025, we do not have color cover options for our planners, barring one exception, which I will talk about later in the video. Our planners have a specific cover for that planner. So whatever planner cover I share for that planner is the only planner cover that that planner comes in. This is an intentional decision for our shop and for our brand to help eliminate decision fatigue, help hopefully eliminate some FOMO, and put the focus of choosing your planner on the size of the planner that you need and the layout of the planner that you need versus the cover that comes on the outside. So each planner comes with one distinct cover option. For 2027, we do have 3 papers that we're offering in our planners. So we do have 2 75 GSM papers, B7 Cosmo Air Light and a Rofel, and 1 52 GSM paper, which is View Corona, with 2 specific exceptions, which I will share as we're walking through the planners. Each planner is only offered in 1 paper option. So you do not get to choose your cover and you do not get to choose your paper, but you do get to choose your size and also which layout you want. Additionally, for 2027, we are offering more 52 GSM planner options than we offered in 2026. And so you will see that we do have a 52 GSM View Corona paper option in every size of planner that we offer, but we do not offer a 52 GSM paper in every single planner layout. So every size comes in a 52 GSM option, but not every planner comes in a 52 GSM option. Hopefully that makes sense, and if it doesn't, it will be more clear as I walk through the planners. The last thing that I wanted to touch on was the sort of DNA of plans. So the DNA of our planners, because all of our planners do feature certain specific organization and layout features. So the first thing is all of our planners are a Monday start. We do not offer any Sunday start planners. The monthly spread, weekly spread, and daily spreads, they are all Monday start. Additionally, all of our planners are bundled by quarter and then further bundled by month. So when you open up one of our planners, and this is one volume of a planner, you will have the quarter and the quarterly pages of that planner. And then you will go into the months of that quarter, and the days and or weeks of that month are with that month. And after that month, you go to the next month, and then the days and or weeks of that month, and so on until you get to the end of the quarter, and then you go to the second quarter, those quarterly pages, and the months, days, or weeks of that month. So our planner is bundled. So when you go into our planner, you're not going to find all of the months at the beginning, and then all of the weeks and all of the daily or notes pages. Additionally, we do have grid pages in our planners in the back for notes and collections in all of our planners, but we also have them dispersed within the planner as well, so that you have lots of places within your planner to add notes and collections or to customize your planner to suit your planning needs. All of our planners do have goal planning pages set up in the exact same way. They have 8 sections for the 8 categories of life. So if you follow the Moxie Life or Cultivate What Matters, you have those 8 categories. But our spread for our goal planning and the majority of our spreads are set up in a way that you can customize them and use them for a different purpose if you don't want to use them for their intended purpose. And I do have some videos walking through the different spreads in our planners, and I have more coming. It is part of our Planner Pages series. And so if you need ideas on how to use some of the spreads in our planners, you can check out that series. And then as I add more, you'll be able to find more. So all of our planners do have goal spreads. Dated planners do have annual planning, so an annual overview, and also a future planning section. They have a habit tracker section for everything larger than pocket size. It has a space to habit track things that you do weekly and also things that you do daily. And then anything that is pocket size or smaller only has daily habit tracking. And then our planners also have a quarterly snapshot page that has 3 months of the quarter on the left-hand page and 3 corresponding grid sections on the right-hand side. And speaking of grid, all of our planners are a 4mm grid or a 4mm line, depending on the spread and or the planner. So the majority of them are a 4mm grid, but we do have some that have lines and they are a 4mm line. So everything is 4mm. So that's the administrative stuff and the DNA of a plans planner. So now let's get into the lineup. So the first planner that we're going to talk about is one of our flagship planners. This is our Plans Vertical Planner. Our flagship vertical planner is a 2-volume set. So you have January through June in volume 1 and July through December in volume 2. This enables you to have a fresh start halfway through the year. And this planner comes in one size. It comes in the A5 size. That's the only size that is offered in. And it comes for 2027 in the B7 Cosmo Airlight paper. And the cover for 2027 is Morganite. So this is the cover for 2027. So it is a light peachy pink color with color variation, if you can see that. And it has a very nice soft finish to it. So it's very soft to the touch. So this is Morganite, and that is the cover for our 2027 Plans Vertical Flagship 2-volume set planner. The color is similar to our 2026 planner, but it doesn't have the iridescent of 2026. Instead, it has this beautiful color variation on it. This planner is a traditional vertical planner with a 12-hour clock, and this planner is an all-in-one everything planner. It has your monthlies, your weeklies, and your dailies in our signature bundled format. So with all of our planners, when you open it up, you will have your annual overview on the left-hand side and then a pre-planning section on the right-hand side for the first 6 months of the next book. So in volume 1, you will have the full year on the left-hand side, and then you will have the 6 months covered in book 2, so July through December, on the right-hand page. Then you have a calendex for the 6 months included in the volume with the weekends shaded. You have annual goals, and then you go into the first quarter with your overview or preview page. Your quarterly goals, so you can break down your goals by quarter into more bite-sized pieces. Your habit tracker for the quarter. your quarterly snapshot or project planner for the quarter, and then you go into the first month of the year, which is January, with your preview or overview page. Then you have your month on 2 pages with your week number on the far right hand side so that it doesn't interfere with your sidebar. Your adjacent days on our monthly calendar, so the days that relate to the previous month and the days that relate to the next month, are slightly lighter than the days of the current month. Then you have a 2-page grid spread, and then you go into your vertical weekly, followed by your dated daily pages. So you do have a blank grid page on the left-hand side when you turn the page from the weekly, so that Monday is always on the right-hand side, so that Saturday and Sunday are always on open-facing pages. And this planner does not have any timeline or any designation on the daily pages other than the day of the week and the date. And you go through the entire month, all the weeks and days of that month, and at the end of the month you have a page that we previously called a recap page. But for 2027, across all of our planners, we have renamed this a reflection page to better represent the intent behind this page. So that is a change across all of our planners. Any page that previously said recap now says reflection. So you will have monthly reflection pages at the end of the month. In some of the planners, you will also have quarterly reflection pages at the end of the quarter. After the month of January, you go into February, set up the exact same way. Then you go to March, set up the exact same way. And then at the end of March, you'll have your March reflection, your quarter 1 reflection, and then you'll go into quarter 2, which is set up the same way as quarter 1 until the end of the quarter. And then you will have your June reflection, your quarter 2 reflection, and grid pages in the back for notes and collections. So that is our Plans Vertical Planner, our flagship 2-volume set. Again, this only comes in A5 size. It only comes in B7 Cosmo Air light paper, and it only comes in our Morganite cover. So that is the first planner in our lineup. Second planner of our lineup is Plans Vertical in the full edition. So Plans Vertical in the full edition is the same layout, organization, and setup as our flagship vertical planner, except that it is all in one book. So you have an all-in-one complete planner, all in one book, with all of your annual and quarterly functional spreads and all of your monthlies, weeklies, and dated daily pages, as well as grid pages in the back that you can use for notes and collections. This planner, the full edition planner, also only comes in A5 size, so it is only offered in A5 size, and it features 52 GSM View Corona paper. And the cover for this planner is garnet. It's the same cover as our flagship vertical planner, but in a different color. So this is garnet, which is a beautiful, deep, rich red color with the same molted effect and soft finish, but in a red color. So Plans Vertical Full Edition comes in garnet in A5 size with View Corona paper. I do want to apologize if you hear any sound, talking, TV, anything coming from the other room. My entire family is home right now, and I needed to get this filmed because I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So you'll have to disregard any sounds you hear coming from the background, and I apologize for that. So the next planner in our lineup is our other flagship planner, which is our Plans Horizontal planner. So Plans Horizontal is set up in the exact same way as our Plans Vertical flagship planner. It is a 2-volume set with the exact same organization, setup, and spreads as Plans Vertical, with 2 notable differences. The first being that the weekly spread is our signature horizontal spread. It features Monday through Sunday on the left-hand side, a grid section next to it where you can do lists, notes, or you can carry the line over to add additional space per day. And then on the right-hand side, it has a dashboard with a place for your focus, your priorities, a checklist, a notes section, a habit tracker for the week, and a checklist for the week. So instead of having a vertical weekly layout, which is more structured and traditionally used for time blocking and seeing your day chronologically, our horizontal planner is more focused on priorities and lists. And so the weekly spread is the difference between Plans Vertical and Plans Horizontal. The other difference between Plans Vertical and Plans Horizontal lies in the daily pages. So the daily pages in the horizontal planner reflect a timeline so that you can time block your day. However, that is one change for 2027. So in 2026, all of our Plans horizontal planners featured a timeline on the daily pages. For 2027, that is only featured on the A6 and B6 size. The A5 size no longer has a timeline on the daily pages in Plans horizontal. So Plans horizontal and Plans vertical in the A5 size are identical except for the weekly spread. So Plans horizontal in the A5 size no longer has a timeline on the daily pages, but in the A6 size and the B6 size, there's a timeline on the dated daily pages. So this planner, Plans horizontal, comes in 3 sizes. It comes in A6 size, it comes in B6 size, and then it comes in A5 size. So this planner comes in 3 different sizes, A6, B6, and A5 size. All 3 sizes are 2 volume sets. All 3 sizes for 2027 feature 75 GSM B7 Cosmo Airlight paper. And the cover for all 3 is our pearl cover. This is a beautiful cover. It is really hard to explain how it feels in person, but it has this beautiful luminous cream color to it with a very subtle iridescence and then the softest satin finish. So this is our pearl cover, and that is the cover on all 3 sizes of Plans horizontal for 2027. Before I go to the next planner, because this has a clear cover on it, I did want to mention that we do have clear covers in our shop for all of our existing planners. So those planners that are returning for 2027, there are clear covers available that you can order when you place your pre-order. For any new planner sizes or new planner styles, we do not have clear covers yet, but we will be adding those to the shop. So definitely make sure that you're subscribed, following us on Instagram, sign up for the newsletter, all of the things, so that you'll be notified when those clear covers come in stock. The next planner in our lineup is definitely a crowd favorite. It is one of our most popular planners. It is our weekly duo planner. So this planner is a 1-book planner, so your entire year in 1 book. It does not feature any daily pages, but it has a unique feature in that it has 2 weekly spreads for every week. So for every week, you have a horizontal weekly followed by a vertical weekly. So for every week in the year, you have 2 weekly spreads. You can really set up and use this planner any way that you want, and I will be doing a separate video on this planner sharing ideas and sample layouts of using this planner. But I did want to share a couple of ways some of our customers use this planner. So some use 1 weekly spread for their personal life and 1 weekly spread for their work. Some of them have YouTube channels or small businesses, side hustles, and so 1 spread will be for life, and then 1 spread will be for their business. Some people use 1 spread for their kiddos' schedules and 1 spread for their personal schedule. Some use 1 for wellness and then the other for planning. Some use 1 for planning and 1 for micro journaling, and some use both spreads for the same week to see it in 2 different views. So 1 focused on their priorities and to-do lists, and 1 to see their week in a time-blocked fashion. So there are lots of ways that you can use this planner, and of course I will be sharing more in a dedicated video on this planner, but I did kind of want to touch on that in this video. So the organization of this planner is the same as all of our planner organizations and the same as our flagship planners, with your annual overview, your Calendex, your annual goals, and then your quarterly section with goals, habit tracker, quarterly snapshot, and then going into the month, followed by the weeks of that month, and then the next month, the weeks of that month, and so on until the end of the year. And then you do have, again, grid pages in the back for notes and collections. So for 2027, this planner is being offered in B6 size, and it's also being offered in A5 size. That is new for 2027. We are now offering our weekly duo planner in 2 sizes, B6 and A5 size. Both sizes will be in 75 GSM B7 Cosmo Airlight paper. and both will feature, if I can find it, our smoky quartz cover. So this is a very beautiful grayish color with a super fine twinkly shimmer finish. It does not have a smooth texture to it, but it does not have a rough texture to it either. It has a very subtle texture to it. And it's just this beautiful, sophisticated neutral with a little bit of twinkle. So this is our smoky quartz cover, and both the B6 and A5 size weekly duo planner will be in the smoky quartz cover for 2027. So the next planner in the lineup is our Plans Daily Planner. This is a daily planner, as the name suggests. This is one planner where you do have a paper choice in a particular size. So in our pocket size, you do have a paper choice in this planner. We have a 75 GSM option and we have a 52 GSM option. For 2027, the 75 GSM option is B7 Cosmo Air Light paper, and the 52 GSM option is View Corona paper. So in the pocket size of Plans Daily, you can choose if you want 75 GSM or you want 52 GSM, but it is a one book planner your whole year in one book, January through December, regardless of which paper option that you choose. It is set up in the same fashion as all of our planners. All of our planners do start with, I don't think I mentioned this, but they all do start with a page that's attached to your in papers, a sort of cover page that says the one with my plans, and then it has a space for your key in case you color code or use symbols in your planner. And then it will have the annual overview and then your future planning log for the first 6 months of the next year. So in 2027, it'll have 2027 here and the first 6 months of 2028 there. Then you have your Calendex, and then you have your annual goals, and then you go into the first quarter. One thing that is different about this planner is it does not have quarterly goals, whereas our other planners do. This planner only has an annual goals section instead of quarterly and annual goals. Then you have your habit tracker, and in the pocket size, it has daily tracking, not daily and weekly tracking. Then you have your quarterly snapshot, and then you go into the first month of the year. And the monthly spread is a lined spread with a gridded sidebar and then a lined monthly. And then when you turn the page, you go straight into the dailies of that month, starting with a weekly overview page that has the week number and then just a gridded section that you can customize and use however it is that you want. So this weekly overview page is extremely flexible. You can set it up any way you want. There's no prescribed setup. You can use it as a mini weekly overview. You can use it for your weekly tasks, your shopping list, your tracking, priorities, notes, anything that you need that week. And then it goes into the dated daily pages, which have a 12-hour timeline, a grid section here for notes, lists, etc., and then a line section at the bottom, again for notes, lists, or micro journaling. And you go through the week of dated daily pages. Saturday and Sunday are always open facing pages. Then you go into the next weekly overview with the dated dailies of that week, and so on until the end of the month. And then you'll have a monthly reflection, and then you'll go into the next month until the end of the quarter. At the end of the quarter, you'll have a monthly reflection, and then the beginning of the next quarter set up in the exact same fashion. And that continues through the end of the year, and you'll have a December reflection, and then some grid pages in the back for notes and collections. So like I said, this is a pocket size planner. This is Plans Daily in pocket size. It is returning in this size for 2027, and it will be in both paper options, 75 GSM B7 Cosmo Air Light and 52 GSM View Corona paper. But for 2027, we are also adding a new size in this planner. So for 2027, we are adding an A5 slim size, and I have pulled out this Moleskine expanded. It's just a blank notebook because the A5 slim size is roughly the same size as a Moleskine expanded notebook, just so that you have a point of reference. The A5 slim size only comes in 52 GSM View Corona paper. So if you can see here, they're roughly the same thickness in the 52 GSM paper here versus the Moleskine here. So the A5 slim will be roughly this size. and I was just going to show you the layout. I printed production files to actual size so you could see the layout for the A5 slim size. So you have the annual overview and your pre-planning section or future planning section. Then you have our Calendex. Again, in our dated planners, all of our Calendexes have shaded weekends so you can see your Saturday and Sunday. Then you have your annual goals. And then you go into your quarter. This is the larger planner. You do have weekly and daily habit tracking. Then you have your quarterly snapshot, your monthly preview or overview page, and then you go into your monthly. Again, it is lined in a 4mm line. And then you go into your weekly overview, and then your dated daily pages. And that continues through the week. And then it will continue to the next week until the end of the month. Then you'll go into the next month and so on. So for 2027, the Plans Daily comes in two sizes, pocket size and A5 slim size. The pocket size comes in two paper options, so you can choose 52 GSM View Corona or 75 GSM B7 Cosmo Air Light. The A5 slim size comes in 52 GSM View Corona only. And the cover for Plans Daily is our Obsidian cover, which is this beautiful matte deep charcoal cover with a very unique crushed paper finish. So Plans Daily in pocket size and A5 slim will come in our Obsidian cover. So the next planner and the last of our dated bound planners, we do have 6 dated bound planners in our lineup. This is the last and the newest addition to Plans is Plans Weekly. So this is a weekly planner, as the name suggests. So it does not have any daily pages, and it also does not have dual weekly pages, but it does have a little bit more space than a traditional weekly planner allows. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I don't have samples of our planners, and so to demonstrate this, I'm actually using our weekly duo planner because Plans Weekly and Plans Weekly Duo are set up in the same way, with one exception being that Plans Weekly doesn't have a vertical spread after the horizontal. It doesn't have 2 weekly spreads. Instead, it has a horizontal weekly spread followed by 2 blank grid pages. And then you go into the next week with your horizontal weekly spread followed by 2 grid pages, and then the next week followed by 2 blank grid pages, then the next week followed by 2 blank grid pages, and so on till the end of the month. Then you'll have your monthly reflection, your month preview or overview page. You'll go into that month, and then the horizontal weeklies for that month with 2 blank grid pages after each week. So you get the full horizontal weekly spread for each week, but you also get 2 additional grid pages that will look like this after each week. For those people that need a little bit more room than what a traditional weekly planner provides, but don't need 2 weekly spreads or weekly pages plus daily pages. Additionally, this planner, Plans Weekly, comes in 52 GSM View Corona paper, making it an overall slimmer planner. So although the planner itself, which is a 1-book planner, just like our weekly duo planner, is the same number of pages as our weekly duo planner, it is 384 pages, it is slimmer. So it will be roughly the same size as a full year Stalogy. I have one here to compare. So our weekly duo features 75 GSM paper, and our Plans Weekly will feature 52 GSM paper. So it will be an overall slimmer planner, even though it has the same number of pages. So the layout is very similar. The setup is very similar to our weekly duo. Instead of having that extra weekly spread, that vertical weekly spread, you have 2 blank grid pages to use for whatever it is that you need. So again, the Plans Weekly will be in 52 GSM View Corona paper, making it a slimmer planner, and it will come in B6 size and A6 size. So this is our A6 planner from 2025, our first year of making planners. Weekly planner, the A6 weekly planner, will be the same size as one volume of our horizontal planner from 2025. So for comparison, similar to what I did for the B6, the A6 weekly planner will be slimmer because it uses 52 GSM paper. So that is our weekly planner. It is a weekly planner with a 2-page grid spread after every week for additional lists, notes, etc. It comes in A6 size and B6 size. It features 52 GSM View Corona paper to allow it to be an overall slimmer planner. And it features our agate cover, which is this peach base cover with this fine crimson veining and a very soft suede finish. So I hope that the camera is picking up the detail of this veining because this cover is very unique, very fun, and I just absolutely love it. So this is our agate cover, and our A6 and B6 Plans Weekly will feature this cover. So those are our 2027 bound planners. Again, we have 6 bound planners. We have Plans Vertical, our flagship planner. We have Plans Vertical Full Edition. We have Plans Horizontal. We have Plans Weekly Duo. We have Plans Daily, and new for 2027, we have Plans Weekly. In addition to our bound planners, we do also offer some traveler's notebook options. And so I do want to walk you through those because we do have some changes to those for 2027 as well. So we do have 3 things that we offer for a traveler's notebook setup. We have our monthly inserts, we have our quarterly undated planners, and we have our grid inserts. So I'm going to start with our monthly inserts. So these are a monthly booklet. They have your cover page with a place for your key. They'll have your annual overview. And then on the right-hand side, you'll have a place for future planning for the first 6 months of the next year. Then you have your calendex. And then you have your annual goals, a 2-page grid spread, and then you go into the monthlies. So you have a monthly preview page, your month on 2 pages, and then your monthly reflection, the next month's preview page, that month on 2 pages, that month's reflection, and so on through the end of the year. And then you'll have your December reflection, and then you have some grid pages in the back for notes and collections. So there have been no changes to our monthly inserts except for changing our recap page to be called a reflection page to better represent the intention behind that spread. For 2027, we are adding a new size to our traveler's notebook options. So we currently have B6 Slim and standard size, and for 2027, we are adding passport size. So our monthly inserts, our quarterly undateds, and our grid inserts will all be offered in standard traveler's notebook size, B6 Slim, and passport size. So let me show you real quick the passport layout. So you have the annual overview and the future planning section. You have your calendex, your annual goals, your monthly preview page, and your month on 2 pages. And it is lined in the passport size to maximize the space on the monthly spread in order to make the boxes as big as possible to give you as much functional space as possible. The passport monthly insert features a lined monthly in a 4mm versus the B6 Slim and the standard are a grid. The cover for our 2027 monthly booklets is espresso. So it is a little bit of a warmer brown versus the milk chocolate that we have for 2026. And so it will feature in all 3 sizes this espresso cover color. And these grid booklets in all 3 sizes are in 75 GSM Arofal paper. So all 3 sizes, passport, B6 Slim, and standard traveler's notebook, feature Arofal paper. And then we have grid inserts in all 3 sizes, passport, B6 Slim, and standard. They are identical across all the sizes. They are a 4mm grid insert, no page numbers, just grid from the first page all the way to the last page. And they feature our toasted marshmallow cover. And then last in our share are our quarterly undated planners. So we offer our quarterly undated planners in 2 paper options. So this is the only other offering besides our Pocket Daily where you can choose your paper for the planner. So the quarterly undated planner comes in 75 GSM paper or 52 GSM paper. If it's in 75 GSM paper, it features our graham cracker cover. And if it is in 52 GSM paper, it features our Cherries Jubilee cover. That's the same whether you're looking at our new passport size, B6 slim size, or standard traveler's notebook size. The layout in these planners is identical regardless of the paper. It's just that the 52 GSM paper is thinner, so the quarterly planner is a little bit thinner. So again, the red cover is 52 GSM, which is View Corona paper for 2027. And then the graham cracker cover is 75 GSM paper, which for the passport and B6 slim size is 75 GSM Rofel paper. And in the standard size, it is 75 GSM B7 Cosmo Air Light paper. And these are quarterly undated planners. So there are no dates in this planner. It is completely undated. It has your introductory page, then it has a 2-page grid, then it has your quarterly overview or preview page, your calendex for the quarter, your goals for the quarter, your habit tracker for the quarter, your snapshot for the quarter, and then it goes into your monthly overview, 2-page grid spread, and then an undated horizontal and undated daily pages with a timeline. For each month, you get 5 weeks, and then at the end of the month, you have a monthly reflection page, a monthly preview or overview page for the next month until the end of that month. Then you have a reflection page, an overview or preview page until the end of that month. And then you have your reflection page and then some grid pages in the back for notes and collections. So the layout and organization is the same in the B6 Slim, the standard, and the passport, but I do have the passport size printed here so you can see. So you have your opening grid spread, you have your quarter overview or preview page, you have your calendex, your goals, your habit tracker. Again, because this is passport size, it only has daily habit tracking, whereas the larger sizes have weekly and daily habit tracking. Your quarterly snapshot, and then your month preview or overview page, 2 grid spread, and then your horizontal weekly undated, followed by your undated daily pages with a 12-hour timeline. And that is the passport layout in our quarterly undated planners. So again, for our TN options, our traveler's notebook options, we have added an additional size, which is our passport size. So now we have 3 sizes: passport, B6 Slim, and standard size. And in the quarterly undated, you have 2 paper options, a 75 GSM option and a 52 GSM option. So that is our 2027 lineup. The goal with this 2027 collection was really to give you different ways to plan based on what you actually need, whether that's structure and time blocking or priorities and lists, 2 different weekly spaces to fit everything into one planner, a little extra room in a weekly planner, daily planner, or just a flexible system that you can build into your favorite cover. Again, pre-orders will open on August 15th. I will be sharing all of the full pre-order details soon, and individual planner posts showing the layouts, sizes, paper, and featured covers are on all of our socials, so Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I will be doing more detailed content walkthroughs as each planner arrives, and I will be sharing some behind-the-scenes sneaks of the planners as well over the coming weeks. So make sure you are subscribed here on YouTube and following us on Instagram so you can check out those shares as well. That concludes my video, my share of the 2027 collection. I am curious which planner you're leaning towards for 2027, so please leave that or any questions or comments that you have in the comments down below, and I will definitely get back with you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.